Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us back here at BTCS's channel. We're, of course, sitting here once again with Charles. And Charles, on the previous video, we got a really good origin story for how you got involved in the company itself. But today, we want to cut through the noise and get a real tight deep dive in. Are you ready to get into it?
I am, Michael. So thanks so much for having me.
Good, good. Glad to have you back on. So yeah, like I said, first and foremost, imagine I run into you. I'm curious. I'm an investor. I know a little bit about blockchain. And I say, tell me about BTCS. What do you guys actually do?
So basically, we secure the next generation blockchains. So our focus is not Bitcoin, but it's rather Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, and the blockchains that Web 3.0 is going to get built on top of.
All right. So explain to me then from there, like how do you guys make money doing that? What's the paths to revenue here?
So just like a Bitcoin miner would validate transactions for Bitcoin, we basically do the same thing. We run validator nodes that secure these next generation blockchains. We validate the transactions, write them to the blockchain, and we are rewarded with transaction fees for doing that. Others, when we open up our pools, will be able to delegate to our pool. So it's a highly leverageable business model, very similar to Bitcoin mining, except the difference is we don't buy expensive capital equipment. Our input is the underlying tokens, which are not depreciating assets, but in an ideal world, appreciating assets.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess a great example here would be how Ethereum started out as proof of work with the mining and everything, and is slowly kicking over to that proof of stake where you set up the nodes and such. So you'd say that's pretty much exactly what you guys do, is you set up the proof of stake nodes and gather from there?
Yep, exactly. So for Ethereum, we're running 240 nodes on Ethereum's beacon chain, which is where it's merging to. And so that's a very nice revenue generator. What's really exciting about our business model, which a lot of people don't get, is all the other next generation blockchains that you hear about, Solana and Avalanche and Terra, they're all delegated proof of stake. It's a very small nuanced difference, but it means that if you want to stake, right, if you've heard of staking, if you want to stake and earn a yield on your crypto, you delegate it to someone else's validator node. And to run a validator node, you've got to have it up and running 24/7. There's a lot of IP, technical know-how involved in getting these things hardened to run all the time so that others can delegate. And that's what we're doing. And if you do that, you're going to pay that validated node operator a fee, right? There's a fee for providing that service. With Bitcoin mining, it's a pool fee, right? There's a lot of Bitcoin mining pools that people pay fees to. With proof of stake, you're paying that to the validator node. And so that's what we do. We're actually running those nodes. And because of that, we can basically earn a fee off other people's money without actually even taking it. So it's non-custodial. And that's where, that's where we're going. That's the core underlying component of the business that we think is going to drive, exponential growth.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, right now, proof of stake is still gaining momentum. Proof of works days seem all but over, so to speak. Proof of stake is a greener technology, takes significantly less hardware to kick it off the ground. However, getting into it on your own is not something that's easy to do. As you said, it's somewhat of a complicated process. So by potentially getting involved with BTCS on the public side, you're getting involved with this without having to have all the technical know-how.
Correct, right? So our goal is to provide, investors exposure to all of the, next generation blockchains, right? The ones that, NFTs and DeFi and the metaverse is going to get built on top of, have exposure there without having to take the risk of like, hey, I'm going to buy some land in the metaverse, or I'm going to buy this, cool NFT. Like, we don't want to do that. We want to basically bet the next internet, secure that internet, and derive revenue from doing that, and leverage that, allowing other people to come into that ecosystem. So, right now what we're doing, we're just staking with our own money, but we're running the validator nodes. And that's kind of like Bitcoin mining on steroids, meaning at the end of 2 or 3 years, we're not left with an ASIC mining machine that's worth nothing as a paperweight. We're left with the underlying tokens, which, if Ethereum goes up, we will have, had appreciation as well as, revenue earned off it. And then you add the delegation to that, where we can leverage other people's money. And that's kind of the heart of what we're going after.
Good. So I guess we already touched on the momentum of proof of stake and such picking up over time, which is what we're estimating. But is there any big catalysts, say for the rest of 2022, people should be looking out for?
We're the key catalyst that you're going to see is we're going to continue to expand the blockchains that we're focused on beyond just, we started with Ethereum. We've added Cardano, Tezos, Avalanche, Algorand, what else, and a few others, right? So the catalyst will be continued to expand there, which should hopefully drive revenue growth, and opening our data analytics and staking as a service platform where others can delegate to our nodes. So those are the big catalysts, is really growing the business by adding additional blockchains, driving revenue, and opening the platform.
Wonderful. Well, Charles, I think you did a great job outlining everything here. If you guys don't know much about proof of work, proof of stake, don't be afraid to ask questions. We can dive into it further. Do some research on it. It's really interesting how proof of stake works, but we'll happily answer anything you guys got for us. And we will have more videos and updates coming soon. Charles, do you have any closing words for people before we go?
Look, I'm just thrilled to have people come take a look at our company. Where I think we're pretty, exciting company on the NASDAQ, very small compared to our peers. We have a very strong balance sheet, a low float, no debt, and we're focused. We're not focused on Bitcoin mining. We're focused on the next generation blockchains that we think Web 3.0 and the future of really the internet is going to get built on top of.
Perfect. Well, Charles, thank you so much again for your time today. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a wonderful day.